what you just heard there is fully analog. That's a fully analog synth going through an analog reverb unit that has a tube input. I don't have any of that gear in this room. I don't own it, okay? But it's fully analog. These are just the plug-in versions. Now, here's the problem. If I was gonna buy an OB-X8, an Oberheim, it's gonna cost me $5,000 plus tax, and then I'm gonna have to maintenance it. Now, a Juno 106, my Juno 106, you don't see here because it's in the shop right now. And it's been in the shop for over 4 months. And a Juno 106 right now on the aftermarket, because that's the only way you can get them used, is about $1,600 to $2,400, right? And then the voice chips go out and all that stuff. And then you got to replace all those. And that's what's going on in LA right now. I got Rosen Sound up in the valley working on my Juno 106. So what is Neiro? Because this is the answer that I've come up with, and I think it's super dope. So I wanted to share it with you guys on the channel. So Neiro is a plugin, okay, of the NX8 is what they call it. And this is the Oberheim OB-X8 synth, fully analog synth, but it's a plugin version. So how does this work? So you make your thing, right? You play your chords and everything in MIDI, and then you go to this render button here. You see there's presets also, but you could tweak anything, any setting, and then you go to render and you go make it real, and then you hit play and it'll play through the MIDI, it'll capture it, it'll render it, it'll basically print what you just did through the actual analog synth, and then it'll give it back as audio. And that's what I got going on right now on my timeline. This audio waveform right here. So as you can see, this is fully the analog synth. Now later in this video, I'm gonna give you guys a blind shootout test so you can hear for yourself and decide for yourself. You know, I'm gonna play it against some analog synth plugins, including the one made by Roland, the 106 plugin from Roland. So you guys can decide for yourself. I don't want to decide for you whether you like this or not, but this is a really cool workflow idea, and I thought it was worthy of sharing on the channel. So I also have the Juno 106 on the Neiro. So if you go to 106 here, you can do the same thing with the Juno 106. And there's a bunch of presets, there's a bunch of synths, bass, and you can tweak everything from the sub oscillators, the waveforms, the VCF, the VCA, the envelopes. You even get that really famous Juno chorus, the 1 and 2 here. This is gonna be really fun. I'm gonna play some stuff for you right now, and you guys can kind of decide which is which, right? This is gonna be blind. So I'm gonna go A, B, C, and you guys could decide, like, is that the Juno whatever? Is that the real Juno? Is that the Neiro plugin? And by the way, these are free. All these plugins are free from Neiro right now. So click that link in the description, pick them up, because what's better than free? So let's do a blind shootout test, and you guys decide what you think. All right, blind shootout time. But first off, I got to tell you guys, look, I've been mixing, mastering, producing, engineering for 25 plus years, but I'm not going to get these perfect, right? Like I'm using these plugins and they're all different. Like, for example, I got the Neiro 106, the N106 from Neiro Audio. And then I have the actual 106 that it went and got printed through. And then I also have the Arturia 6, the Juno 6, but that's a Juno 6. That's not a 106. But I did my best to match all the settings and the tonality, okay? And then the last thing I got in here on the 106, which is this first blind test here, is I have the actual Roland 106 plugin. So this is the official Roland Juno 106, right? But it's still a plugin. So I try to match these the best I can, and I'm not gonna play these in the order I just said. I'm gonna play them in a random order. Now you don't have to guess which is which, just tell me which one you like the most and why. And I'm just gonna label these A, B, C, D, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D, got it? Cool. Back to elementary school, right? All right, here it comes, here's A. All right, let me know in the comments which one you like the best and why. So A, B, C, and D. Now let's move on. This next one is going to be for the Oberheim OB-X8. And the same thing, just tell me which one you like the best, A, B, C, or D, and why. Please tell me why. What are you hearing? And I'm gonna reveal which is which, so don't worry. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I'm hearing as well. Okay, so for this one, we just have A, B, and C. The three different synths are the Neiro version of the OB-X8, then the actual rendered version, the actual OB-X8, and then we have the Arturia version OP-XA. All right, so let me know. These are random, by the way. So A, B, or C on this one. And in the comments, let me know what you're hearing and why you like A, B, or C the best. Final round, we got the bass of the Juno 106. Now, A, B, or C on this one. Okay, so A, B, or C. Here it comes. Here's A. All right, what you got, A, B, or C? And also, can you guess which one is actually the 106 analog version, not the plugin version? Let me know in the comments. Don't worry, I will reveal which is which at the end of the video, so stick around. But let's talk about workflow, right? Because this is an interesting workflow. It's like, we got the plugin, but then we're gonna get the analog? Like, what? How do we do this? How does this all work? First things first, we got presets. And then you can mess with and tweak anything on the synth. And this, again, is a free plugin, okay? So you can go grab this right now. It's free. Like, even on its own as a plugin, it's dope. But the fact that we're going to actually render it through a 106 is even doper. So let's talk about workflow. We got a little, MIDI section here, and I'm just gonna play this, and we're going to go through some presets, and we're gonna find a sound we really like. All right, this is kind of cool. It's like a little lo-fi vibe. Now, once you have a sound you really like, you can now render it through the actual Juno 106. So it sees everything, it understands it, but first we have to kind of print it, I guess, capture it, if you will. So we're going to make it real, and then we're going to play our MIDI section. All right, once you hit stop on your DAW, I'm in Logic, then it will ask you, hey, what do you want to call this? So let's call it Juno, I'm drunk. Juno, I'm drunk. All right, now it'll give you a preview. It'll say, hey, is this what you played? And you can play it and preview it and go, yeah, that's exactly it. But I'm just gonna hit render. Now you can see it's rendered and it's downloading. So it's downloading the analog synth. We got this back from the 106 and we have the audio. Now, a couple things to note here that kind of confused me at first. This little hamburger 3 menu dot thing, if you click on this, you can see there's a disable, delete, and rename. If you don't go to disable, you will, every time you press play, even though there's MIDI there, it's playing back the analog synth print. So you have to disable this, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna disable it, right? So that it doesn't play it back as the analog, so we can A/B it, okay? So here is the digital version, and then I'll go to the analog version. Pretty cool, right? So it sounds analog to me. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, that's what a Juno sounds like. I mean, I've owned many Junos, so kind of know the sound. It's iconic. Okay, so now also another thing you can do is create an audio channel track in your DAW, and you could literally just drag and drop it. And the cool thing about dragging and dropping it is that you can now add effects and all that other stuff to the actual audio. And I prefer to work with audio when I'm working with analog synths. And the last thing I want to show you, which is absolutely incredible and probably my favorite part of the Neiro suite right now, is the reverb, the Inverb 90. Now, why is this so cool? Because it's a tube input reverb, spring reverb. Like, it doesn't get better than that. Sounds so fucking good. All right, and the cool thing about it is you can drive the input, so you get this like actual distortion from the analog unit. Now, of course, we're using the plugin right now, but once we capture and render it through the actual spring reverb, we are getting tube drive on our analog synth. And we back! We got it. It's rendered. So I got the audio here. I'm just going to duplicate the track here and drag it in, and boom. Now we got the wet versus the dry. All right, so dry and then wet. All right, now one thing to note, obviously, is that spring reverb itself, the analog version of it, is a mono reverb. Okay, so you're probably like playing it back, you're going, this sound doesn't sound as good. I'm so mad. I'm gonna drop a comment. It's in mono. Yeah, we know it's in mono, buddy. So this is actually an analog unit. Like I don't know how to tell you otherwise. Like this is mono. Okay, so you got a mic and an instrument input, and it's a mono spring reverb with a tube in it. So if you're looking for that kind of lo-fi mono sound, that's it. All right, now let's listen to it in the mix, okay? I think that's kind of the most important thing. So let's pop it in the mix, and I actually printed this Oberheim that, you know, is going through the spring reverb as well, that I played at the beginning of this video. Let's pop that into the mix as well on this song and hear it in the context.
Closing in, there's no way to stop it now. The time is coming when your time will run out.
It's like the best of both worlds, right? We're getting the analog, the saturation, the distortion, the grit in this song that has sampled drums, and you know, that's kind of how I like to produce anyway. But let's talk about kind of final thoughts on this, because for me personally, this is like a new workflow. It's not all analog. It's not all plug-in. It's kind of a hybrid approach. And for me, I think it's for people that want an additional kind of workflow and they want different sounds. Like you can't afford to go buy an Oberheim. I mean, unless you're really like got money like that, you know what I'm saying? But I don't. Like I had to spend a lifetime even buying some analog synths. They're really expensive. So this is a really good approach to not spending a shit ton of money. That's number one thing. Who it's not for, though, is people that are like crazy tweak heads. Like if you're on the analog synth world, you got all your mono patches and shit, and you're like, dude, I'm patching the world, bro, and then this goes to that oscillator and it filters into the filter vibrator. Then this probably isn't for you, right? Because you're going to want to sit here and tweak and tweak and tweak and tweak, and then you're going to be like, doesn't sound right, I need to tweak it more. But this is a cool workflow for anyone trying to get some different new sounds into their records and they don't want to spend a fortune, right? And you don't have all the space. Like my room is like filled with synths and instruments, and a lot of the times I got to like switch out instruments because I don't have the space for them. So that's it. Wait, hold on. That's not it. I got to reveal the blind shootout. So let's do that now. Blind shootout reveal right now, right here. And I think you're going to be a little surprised, but if you didn't vote, you still got time. Drop it in the comments. A, B, C, or D, A, B, C, A, B, C. Okay, we did 3 shootouts. Now I'm going to reveal them. So Neiro, Juno, the first Juno you heard, render A is the Neiro. It's actually the analog 106. This guy right here, it's printed. B was the Arturia Juno 6. Okay, so this one was kind of tough because it's not a 106, but the B was Juno Arturia. And then C was the actual plugin version, the N106. So again, if you liked C, like go grab the plugin for free right now. Why not, right? Free is awesome. I always love free. I mean, not always, because some things that are free are not really that great, but this is a great thing for free. And then actually D was the Roland Juno 106. This thing costs like $200. I don't get it. I think it sounds really digital, honestly, in my opinion. One thing I liked about the Juno render, obviously the 106, it sounds like a Juno. Like it has like really warm, soft edges. It feels a little bit more deep, a little bit more wide. You know, you get kind of like that analog funkiness to it, right? And I felt like all the plugins kind of have this like digital kind of attack and immediacy to them. And that's not why you use an analog synth. I'll be real with you. Like just use Serum or Silent or something, you know? Okay, now round 2 was Neiro OB-X8. That was A. That's the actual plugin, the NX8, which is great and it's free. Again, I know I'm pushing the free thing, but shit, y'all, like just trying to help you out. And then B was the OB-X8, the actual OB-X8 printed. Okay, that's the Neiro printed one. And then C was the Arturia OP-XA. Yeah, C. All right. And then finally, last round was the basses. And you know, Junos are like really good and well known for basses. I love a Juno bass. So Juno 1 was the actual Roland Juno 106, bass A, and then B was the Juno 1, the in 106, right? And then C was the actual real Juno 106 bass. So this one I loved because you can hear the anomalies and kind of the analog, you know, weirdness to this one. Like you could tell almost immediately that this is the actual 106 and the other ones are plugins because they just sound kind of like digital, you know, like a Juno 106 bass is pretty hard to tame, you know? That sub oscillator is like, it gets so crazy, it'll clip out your speakers so quick. So this was a pretty cool one. Now, what do you guys want next from Neiro Audio? Just drop a comment. Like, what do you want to see next? Like analog, like you want like a upright piano, you know, that you could send to? Do you want analog outboard gear that you could send to, like compressors, other reverb units, the AMS, you know, reverb, or, you know, plate reverb, or, you know, what do you want? Just drop it in the comments. What you think would be really cool. Lastly, you guys, if you got anything out of this video or you appreciate the fact that I spent hours and hours and hours matching all these plugins, printing the audio, going through the blind shootout, making this video for you guys and putting you on game, like getting you some free plugins, then drop some love in the comments. That's all I ask for. Like, I'm not asking for your money. I don't need anything from you besides a little bit of love. All right. And I'll see you guys next time.